You made it through part 1. You now understand that women are loyal to how you make them feel, not what you do for them. But knowing the truth is not enough. Most men know the theory. They have read the quotes. They have watched the videos, and still nothing changes. Why? Because knowledge without embodiment is useless. You can understand every principle and still crumble the moment she tests you. You can recite the laws of attraction and still feel your chest tighten when she pulls away. Knowing is not being. Theory is not transformation. In part 2, we go deeper. We move from understanding to application, from theory to nervous system mastery, from chasing to becoming. Here are the 3 advanced shifts that will make 95.7% of women chase you, not because you try, but because you embody. Before we begin, take a breath, slow down. This is not information to consume and forget. This is material to absorb and integrate. The men who master this do not watch it once. They return to it. They let it sink into their bones. Let us begin. Chapter 1. She chases certainty, not intensity. Most men believe that attraction requires grand gestures, dramatic emotions, and constant excitement. They think they need to be the most intense man in the room, the loudest laugher, the most animated storyteller, the one who always has something to prove. They are wrong. Women are not chasing intensity. They are chasing certainty. Intensity excites for a moment. Certainty endures for a lifetime. Think about the last time you felt genuinely safe. Was it with someone who was loud, unpredictable, and emotionally volatile? Or was it with someone who was steady, calm, and unshaken? Certainty is the silent magnet. It does not announce itself. It is felt in the pauses, in the way you do not flinch when she tests you, in the way your voice does not rise when she provokes you, in the way your posture remains open when she throws sarcasm your way. Let me give you a real example. 2 men are at a dinner party. The first man is charismatic. He tells stories, makes everyone laugh, commands attention. But when a woman challenges his opinion, his energy shifts. He becomes defensive. He overexplains. He tries to win the argument. The second man says less. He is not trying to be the center of attention. When the same woman challenges him, he pauses. He smiles slightly. He says, "That is an interesting way to see it." Then he lets the silence sit. Who seems more attractive? Who feels more dangerous in a quiet, grounded way? The second man. Because his certainty is unshaken. He does not need to prove anything. He does not need to win. He is not emotionally hooked on her reaction. A woman who feels uncertain about your emotional stability will keep you at arm's length forever. She will engage, she will flirt, she will even go on dates. But deep down, she will not surrender, because her nervous system is still scanning for cracks in your foundation. But a woman who feels certain, who knows that no matter what storm passes, you will remain grounded, will chase that feeling relentlessly. She will chase you. Not because you pursued her, because your presence became her anchor. Because your calm became her addiction. Because in a world of men who crumble, you stood still. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote, "It is not events that disturb people, but their judgments about them." When you embody this, when you refuse to let her moods dictate your emotional state, you become rare, and rare is irresistible. Chapter 2. She chases the man who can walk away. This is the paradox that destroys most men's understanding of attraction. The man who is afraid to lose her will lose her. The man who is willing to lose her becomes irresistible. Why? Because women are biologically wired to seek men who are not dependent on their approval. A man who can walk away is a man who has options. A man who has options is a man of value. A man of value triggers attraction at a primal level. But here is the distinction that most men miss. Walking away is not a tactic. It is not a game. It is not ignoring her texts for 3 days to seem mysterious, while secretly checking your phone every 30 seconds. Walking away is the natural consequence of a man who has built a life so compelling that he does not need to cling to anyone. His mission, his health, his purpose, his peace, these are non-negotiable. If she aligns with them, wonderful. If she does not, he continues forward without her. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine a man who wakes up at 5 in the morning. He trains his body. He sharpens his mind. He works on his craft. He has friendships that nourish him. He has goals that excite him. His life is full before any woman enters it. Now a woman comes into his world. She is beautiful, intelligent, interesting. He enjoys her company. But he does not rearrange his life for her. He does not cancel his plans to wait for her text. He does not stop pursuing his purpose because she is moody. If she stays, great. If she leaves, he does not collapse. He simply returns to his mission. That energy is palpable, and women feel it instantly. When she knows you will survive without her, she starts to wonder if she can survive without you. That wondering becomes curiosity. Curiosity becomes attraction. Attraction becomes chasing. Think about the opposite scenario. The man who makes her the center of his universe. Who cancels his plans to be available for her. Who texts first every single time. Who apologizes when he has done nothing wrong just to keep the peace. That man is not attractive. He is predictable, he is safe. He is already captured, and women do not chase what they have already caught. Seneca wrote, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, and the man who can walk away has prepared a life so rich that he does not need to beg for anyone's presence." And when that man meets a woman, she senses immediately that she is not his lifeline. She is an addition to an already complete existence. That is power. That is what makes her chase. Chapter 3. She chases the man who masters his own emotions. Here is the final layer. The one that separates. The men who get occasional attention from the men who command obsession. Your emotional state is contagious. If you enter a room anxious, she becomes anxious. If you are reactive, she becomes guarded. If you are desperate, she becomes distant. But if you are calm, she relaxes. If you are centered, she leans in. If you are unshaken, she feels safe enough to open. Stoicism teaches that you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. This is not about suppressing emotions. It is about not being ruled by them. Let me give you a concrete example. You are in a conversation with a woman you find attractive. The energy is good. Then she says something that could be interpreted as a test. Maybe she teases you about your job. Maybe she brings up an ex. Maybe she says something slightly dismissive. Most men feel a spike of anxiety. Their chest tightens. Their mind races. They scramble to defend themselves or change the subject. That spike is visible. She sees it. And something in her closes. The man who masters his emotions does not spike. He notices the feeling. He acknowledges it internally. But he does not let it dictate his response. He stays grounded. He breathes. He responds from a place of calm rather than reaction. That response might be silence. It might be a slight smile. It might be a simple, "That is an interesting thing to say." Nothing defensive. Nothing needy. Just calm presence. When a woman sees that you can handle her storm without being consumed by it, she experiences something rare. She experiences a man who is larger than her emotions, and that is intoxicating. She will chase that feeling. She will chase the man who creates it, not because you asked her to, because her own nervous system compels her to return to the source of that calm. Think about the men she has known before you. Many of them were reactive. They got angry. They got sad. They got needy. They tried to pull her into their emotional chaos. You are different. You are the eye of the storm. When she is around you, her own nervous system begins to regulate. She feels less anxious, less chaotic, more grounded. That is a drug, and she will become addicted to it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. When you internalize this, when you stop being a puppet of external circumstances, you become something she has never encountered before. A man who cannot be manipulated by her moods. A man who cannot be provoked into weakness. A man who is so solid that she feels safe letting go. That is the deepest level of attraction. Not what you say, not what you do, but who you are when everything around you is collapsing. Conclusion. You now have the advanced framework. She chases certainty, not intensity. She chases the man who can walk away. She chases the man who masters his own emotions. These are not tricks. These are reflections of a man who has done the internal work. A man who has built a foundation that cannot be shaken by her moods, her tests, or her absence. Let me leave you with a final image. Two men stand before the same woman. One is desperate for her approval. His hands are slightly sweaty. His voice is slightly higher. He laughs at everything she says. He texts her the next morning within minutes of waking up. The other man is calm. He does not rush. He does not perform. He says what he means and means what he says. He is not afraid of silence. He is not afraid of her walking away. Who do you think she will chase? Who do you think will occupy her thoughts late at night? Who do you think she will compare every other man to? The answer is obvious, but obvious does not mean easy. Becoming this man requires discipline. It requires you to build a life so compelling that you do not need to cling. It requires you to master your emotions so thoroughly that her tests become irrelevant. It requires you to embody certainty so completely that she feels safe in your presence. If part 1 showed you what women are truly loyal to, part 2 showed you how to embody that loyalty without effort. Now the choice is yours. Stay in the cycle of chasing, pleading, and wondering, or step into the frame of the man who is chased. Subscribe for part 3, where we will break down the specific daily practices that forge this unshakable presence, the morning routines, the mindset drills, the physical habits that build the man she cannot forget. Your journey continues now. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.